Every 3 years, the best sailors on the planet compete in the world's toughest offshore challenge, the Volvo Ocean Race.
1, 2, go!
Tense.
For the 12th edition, 7 teams left Alicante, Spain, to cross 4 oceans and 5 continents over 9 months. It is the ultimate endurance test that all professional sailors dream of doing.
It's just relentless.
With a fleet solely composed of the Volvo Ocean 65, a boat designed to take on the most grueling offshore race. Crews are pushed to the limit in a competition that has never been closer. Battling 24/7, fighting storms, and defying the worst that Mother Nature can throw at them.
You get a beating out there.
Pushing the crews to a place where there is only a thin margin between winning the leg.
Fantastic, we're on top of the world. So proud of my team.
First win. Nice, very nice.
Or losing it all.
Holy shit, I can't believe this. I can't actually believe this happening.
This is their story. After 25 days at sea, Leg 3 of the Volvo Ocean Race is eventually coming to an end. It's been a hard one, where the lack of wind, the harsh navigation, and the coastal sailing have kept the teams on their toes. Under constant pressure, Dongfeng Race Team has managed to keep their lead for most of the leg. Not an easy task, but the Franco-Chinese team is really dedicated to securing first place into their home base of Sanya and propel themselves to the top of the scoreboard.
We will be first on the general ranking of Volvo Ocean Race. Good as well. Huh? Good as well.
Back on the dock, the race doctors are getting ready to examine the sailors as they arrive in order to keep an eye on their health.
Getting our area ready, not particularly sophisticated, just some paperwork and some scales. This is our opportunity, medical team, just to meet them, just have a chat, let's see if they had any issues, medical issues, injuries or illnesses whilst on board.
Hard work and dedication pays as Charles and his crew receive a hero's welcome, crossing the finish line on home turf. The underdog has become the leader of the race.
Great timing, great winner for this leg.
Absolutely.
Three different winners in 3 different legs, which is very good.
To come into Sanya as winners, it's Dongfeng Race Team, it doesn't get much better for them.
After ranking second twice, Dongfeng Race Team is now on the highest step of the podium.
Congratulations, well done guys, that's brilliant.
Thank you.
Really good.
Yeah,
Do you want to come through and get this paperwork
done.
bit
After
out of the
that, it's
way?
done.
It's not so much just about data collection, it's actually about the information that we're gathering from them on an individual basis on arrival. It's probably our only opportunity to have a face-to-face with them and to pick up on issues that may be small or may have been small on the boat that we can prevent from getting worse, or at least we can take some action to correct before they go out again. No injuries at all?
No, great. First one.
Fantastic. Yeah. Dehydration, sickness.
No sickness, dehydration, but no, it's okay. No, this one it was very.
Nothing at all that caused you any problems.
Head problem to deal with the stress of a race. Maybe you should put a
we
new
have
one.
stress down here.
Yeah, but
we
put
put
stress.
that one on for
Yes,
you
but yes, it's
especially.
okay. Yes, a lot of stress on this one.
All sailors will agree, keeping the lead is way more stressful than trying to catch up, especially in dangerous waters like the Malacca Strait.
Nightmare, no wind. Average boat speed to the goal maybe close to 0. So it's a nightmare for a leader.
And being tense week after week has a serious effect on their general health. Add heat and dehydration, and the body could be at risk of serious issues such as kidney failure.
Long time at sea, keeping themselves hydrated can be a big issue for the sailors. Drinking enough can be a real problem, and we'll probably see more problems with dehydration and the things that relate to that. Skin problems as well. Again, if you're out there, you've got the salty water, not the ability to clean your skin always with fresh water. So, skin sores and problems, and that seems to be predominantly what we'll see on this leg. Were you able to eat here 3 meals a day?
No, 2 maximum.
Okay, and did you manage to make up with snacks, bars and things?
Yeah.
Did you have any injuries or pain at all, particularly during this leg?
Nothing,
no?
except a few headaches sometimes.
Okay, and do you think that was from the sun? Yeah. It seems that there's been nothing significant that we've had from them. They seem to be fine. Obviously, they're in good spirits as winners, but the 2 that I've seen seem to be pretty good.
Once the medical's out of the way, the winning crew can at last spend some time with their families.
Well, everybody says this is the toughest race of the world. For me, the toughest part of this race is to leave the family for nearly 9 months. It's one of my big pleasures on the Volvo is when they are there at the finishing line.
But it's also the chance to get some fresh and tasty food after so long at sea.
Since 21 days, we have dry fruit, so it's very, very good to have fresh fruit.
And lastly, it is also the perfect moment to reflect on such a big achievement.
1 year ago, we arrived here. We find some rookies, Chinese sailors. We start to train here. It was not so easy, complicated because for a lot of reasons. Then we went to Europe, and 1 year ago we are back, and we are leading the overall, and we win the leg arriving at home. For Dongfeng Racing, winning in China is fantastic. It's amazing.
Back on the finishing line, race director Jack Lloyd is impressed with the young team's achievement.
They got ahead a long time ago, and they've sailed through some very, very tricky waters, very tricky conditions, and they've kept their cool. It makes the victory even sweeter for them, I would think. They haven't had 1 second to let up.
Finally, after a great leg, Azam takes a well-deserved 2nd place.
Okay, she's coming up to the line now. Dongfeng sailed a great leg and sailed to a big win, but we weren't even in the same race as them after the first week. So, to get 2nd feels like a win for us. They've been pretty solid here, and they'll be happy with this result. To stay on the podium is the way you'll win this race, and you don't have to win every leg, you just got to be consistent, and they're being consistent, and so is Charles and Dongfeng.
The real race now is for 3rd position, with 3 boats fighting all the way for it.
I think they're still within a mile of each other, so just depends how they get through this next bit, and we'll see who pops around the corner first.
It's the young American-Turkish crew that turns the corner first, giving them their first podium place.
Very close. 500 minutes.
30 minutes later, it's Mapfre who finishes in 4th place, less than 2 minutes ahead of Team Brunel.
Brunel's coming up to the line now. Bowie will be a bit upset that he's let a couple of boats in between him and Ian, because it's put him a couple of paces back now, which will make it tough for him.
Of course, a bit disappointed. An expensive point, of course, they lose it a couple of minutes. But I think we sailed actually pretty nicely, so it's just one of these things.
Later in the evening, it's the turn of the all-female boat to arrive safely in Sanya. Despite their last position, Team SCA's performance has been good, and the following morning, their 3-times Volvo winning coach Brad Jackson takes the opportunity to push them to improve even more.
You guys know where you probably lost a few miles here and there, but I think in general it's a progression from the things that we didn't want to do this leg that we maybe have done in the other legs. I think we tick those boxes mostly.
I think once again leg 3 was a unique leg. quite challenging in the Straits, obviously, having to deal with ships and fishing nets and tree trunks and all sorts of other things. But I think generally a good leg for us. You look at the result and yeah, it's a 6th place, but I think our performance has definitely improved. We managed to stick with the fleet, which was one of our priorities for the leg. And we managed to stick with the fleet for about 7 to 10 days, so almost half of the leg, and that's definitely different to the leg 1 and 2. We were matching them out of the tap, but they just pulled into some pressure line that we missed by having to be low initially, and they hooked into it and we didn't.
The guys who went right out to the right came in with nothing, you know.
We've got a pretty amazing group of girls. We have very different backgrounds, but we bring different experiences and knowledge on board, and we're just trying to bring that together and shape that together. And you can see from the legs that we're getting better at it as time goes on. So I think we just need to keep chipping away, and we spend 25 days, or 24 days in this case, 12 girls on a 65-foot boat, and we finish last, but we come off the boat and the atmosphere is great and everyone's put in 100%, and if we can hang on to that and the energy level and the motivation level, if we can keep that up, then you'll be seeing a lot from us still.
But right now it's time to rest and catch up with loved ones.
We are about to call my family in Wyoming. My little sister just had a baby the day before I arrived into China. Hi! Oh my God, it's a baby! I can kind of see you, you're just incredibly blurry. You should try to hold her up just so I can see how small she is.
Like Charles earlier, Sarah feels that being so far away from family is one of the downsides of the race.
Thank you so much for calling.
Yeah, I love you guys.
Love you. Have fun.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Ugh, yeah. You're away for like everything. It's frustrating. And it's like, that's kind of typical, you know, where like you just want to see them, you just want to see the baby, and the internet doesn't work, or it cuts out, or you can't really hear each other. And so it's not very satisfying, you know? But, and then you hang up and you realize how far away you are. So, it sucks.
After nearly 4 weeks at sea, all the boats are finally safely moored into Sanya Marina. It may have been a light wind leg, but the boat still faced a lot of challenges, especially in the area around Singapore. It's up to the Boatyard to jump into action and get the fleet ready for the next leg to Auckland.
How many sails we got through today, Jane? Looks as though you're smashing them out.
12, I think.
12?
Or 10 or 12 or something like that, yeah.
Out of how many? 70? Yeah.
Having just left his family in their new home in Australia, Nick and his team are already on the case. With the boat still in the water, there are plenty of repairs that the guys can make a start on. Especially because during the last leg, several boats suffered inconvenient sail breakages that could have possibly caused a change on the leaderboard.
What we can work on whilst the whole haul-out procedure goes on are purely the sails. So we're pretty much full noise into the sails, and they've got a massive percentage of those done already. And then the real more composite work and the servicing of the boats and the rigs will start tomorrow.
Having navigated the Strait of Malacca, which is littered with debris and many other hazardous obstacles, the boats may have suffered more damage than usual to their hulls.
There's going to be definitely a few chinks in the armour of underneath the waterline of these boats, but most of the teams have already sent divers down. From what the divers have reported, it's nothing major, Nothing that we can't turn around within 24, 48 hours. So the boats will be back in tip-top shape. Then I'm back on a plane, back to Adelaide, see the family, and hopefully the new house has a bit of equipment in it.
But before that can happen, there's still plenty to do to get the fleet ready for leg 4. Having lifted the boats out of the water onto the dockside, the shore crew and teams can inspect their hull and look for any possible damage.
So as you can see over here, there's just some small scratches, and the same on the top, so the guys are doing some repairs on that. But the most important thing, of course, is that we make a real nice, smooth edge again, so that we don't have any disturbance in the water.
With a wealth of experience in the race, Bao is impressed by the tenacity of the Volvo Ocean 65.
So far so good, no issues at all, and that's of course that's really nice, because pre-race we did 17,000 miles, and I think up to now during the race we probably have done another 18 or 19, and structural the boat is really good, and that's we know the differences in the past. With the 70s you were more or less 60% of the time you were repairing things, and that's so nice about how the boats have been built. They're maybe a bit overbuilt, but it's perfect for the race.
Luckily, without major repairs, the Boatyard and the teams can concentrate on routine maintenance.
We polish the boat, so the boat gets sanded, and the final stage is actually you're putting a polish paste on it. So that's how you're getting the shiny surface. And just before we go in the water, we put what we call a substance McLoop, and that basically keeps the grease off the hull, if there's not too much like in the last leg.
The Boatyard may be in charge of the upkeep, but the teams themselves like to get their hands dirty on their own boats.
I think I saw already 3 of our crew members here. They should have been going on a holiday, but they're here, they want to make the boat better. And that's actually a good thing as well, because when you have an issue on board, you can actually deal with it and you can work with it.
With the boats out of the water, there are plenty of other jobs to be done, including getting the equipment ready according to the tough rules of the race.
We are organizing all the spares for the leg, which is not a very easy thing, because we have like a maximum weight allowed, which is 550 kilos per boat, and that includes so many things like clothing, personal stuff, or different spares. So we have to go through all different areas, and we have a list of the items in each bag, and we have to weigh them. But yeah, it's a long work, every stopover, 2 days full-time job. This bag is 22 kilos, and there's a maximum weight per bag, which is 25 kilos. That's the point. With all these things, we have to move it all around the boat, forward, outward, starboard. Every time we tack, jibe, or the wind drops or increase, we have to move off the stack. So more or less it's like 800 kilos downstairs and another 800 kilos on deck with the sails, so it's a pretty hard job.
The race can be tough on the sailors, but Nettie has an advantage, as his fiancée travels and even works with him.
We are actually engaged, so we're gonna get married at the end of the race. Our families are so happy, especially my mom. She was pushing on me always to do it. So yeah, we're getting married.
A lot of people is asking, where is your ring? Where is your ring? And I'm like, I'm sailing, I cannot wear my ring with me. It is really difficult to, especially on the start, when he leaves, and you have to be professional and be a photographer and forget about your relationship with someone which is on board. I think I get a little bit stressed when I'm not with him, even that I know how this works, but still now I see it from a different point of view. So I'm watching the race every single 3 hours, except at night, sorry. And I'm the first person, apart from some of the shore team, that see the boat on the arrival. So it's exciting also as a photographer, but also as a girlfriend, it's nice to see them for the first time.
If the stopover gives a chance for the sailors to rest, for some teams it provides the opportunity to train even more as soon as the boats are ready to go back in the water.
We're just getting sheets and sails ready to go. We've got a coach here, so we're trying to look at a bunch of sail stuff and make the most of an opportunity to have somebody like Tony Mutter here coaching us. So it should be a full-on day, and hopefully we get a lot out of it.
As we get further in the race, we find more areas that we need to work on. And we got a little bit of A3 going on, a little bit of upwind stuff as well. We had Tony Mutter here with us, so we have his perspective on everything, which is quite nice. It's fresh, you know, he hasn't sailed on the 65 a lot, but he's done plenty of other sailing, and at the end of the day, a boat's a boat. So it's pretty nice to get his opinion on things, and we're happy to have him.
I'd like to, and then kind of take our time to switch sails and just not use a lot of runway. So I think we can leave the J1 hanged on the bow for the day.
Well, today we're just looking at some different ways of sheeting some of the sails, and they felt that they've been struggling a little bit with that, and so we're just going to present them with some different ideas and see if we can get them going a little better, give them some more options once they get racing, that they can check in with those and see if that helps them.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see the J1, you guys doing like semi-true with a J1. With a staysail inside.
Yep. I think it's imperative to bring in a fresh perspective, you know, because we can chat amongst ourselves as we're sailing, and we kind of pigeonhole ourselves occasionally and end up right back where we started. And it's good to get a set of fresh eyes, especially someone like him who's won the race, you know, as many times as he has, and you know, his opinion is extremely valued, and you know, it's just great to, you know, hear him advocate for new things. We know that we have a boat speed deficiency in certain areas, and we're trying to remedy it, you know, by having Tony here.
They're very honest with their performance, they're very competitive, and they seem to have a good camaraderie, and they're just working really hard to try and get better. And the only way you can get better is experience. And so they are, as the race gets on, they get more and more experience. They're competitive guys, they want to win.
You look at all the other teams, and you know, they've sailed together, you know, for multiple laps around the planet. You know, we've done 3 legs, so I think it's only natural that we you know, organically find efficiencies and start to allocate our resources better, so it's good.
Everybody's in a good spot. The team's working really well, and we feel like it's one of our strengths right now, so we need to continue to rely on that as things go forward. You know, I think some of these top teams, you know, maybe the pressure to do well will start to get to them and creates an opportunity for us to pounce, so we need to continue to put ourselves in a spot where we can capitalize on that.
Stepping onto the podium for the first time has given the young American-Turkish crew a taste for victory. The young sailors have always been the foundation on which the Volvo Ocean Race has prevailed all these years, as Salty Sea Dog Bao knows only too well.
I think it's good when younger sailors get earlier a chance to come on board of these boats.
It was a very steep learning curve in the beginning, but I think it's normal to every young guy who steps on these boats. You have to learn it from the other guys, and in the beginning there's a big inequality, I think, between the sailors, between the experienced guys and the less experienced guys.
They don't have a lot of experience, and they just, when we say something, they never a second question you. And that's that environment I like to change. So when they think we're not maybe 100% right, or maybe we should just do it in another way, they should speak up about that. And that's happening more and more, and that's really a good thing.
There's like this platform of communication which is both ways now. And we have our ideas and we can share them with the other guys, and they, or we do something with it or not, or it's a stupid idea or it's a good idea.
It's all about learning, and it's not only the 2 youngsters, it's for the entire team, even for myself. I learn still every day things from other guys. It's just all about learning. You have to keep learning.
But it's also about inspiration.
Bao is one of a kind. He is a really unique guy. Once you get to know him, he's really easy to go, to talk with him, to live with him together on a boat. And I have a really good understanding with him and a good relationship with him. We both know from each other what we expect from each other and what my responsibilities are on the boat. Still, there's always this skipper-sailor relationship.
Louis has been a natural driver from day one. Rokas is still more like the guy who we have to coach sometimes, but Louis, you can just switch the instruments off and he just sails the boat and is really fast. Rokas is still like a little bit more like looking at the numbers and not 100% having the feel for the boat, so he's still having that transition. And that you see very often with dinky sailors, that they're bloody good in the dinky, but still the transition to a big boat is quite hard. But he's getting there as well, and of course the way how they're trimming and just the way how they gel with the guys, because that is, I think, the most important thing what we're having right now. Everybody can be having fun with each other, and even like when the time is off, they're going together to the beach or doing some other fun things together. And that's the thing where the youngsters have been actually growing a lot in as well. So yeah, they're top guys.
Next week, the crews make the most of their time in China. Old friends and new rivals catch up.
Nice.
And it's time to say goodbye again.